This Marquee Dragon video is sponsored by Shattered Crystal, game codes, and items.
Hello, I'm Marquee Dragon, also known as Marcus Eikenberry in real life. And today I've got...
Isaiah Cartwright.
Yeah, I knew your last name was Cartwright. So, Isaiah, we're looking at GuildWars back here.
Yeah.
And actually GuildWars 2.
Yeah.
The much anticipated. In fact, I'll tell you this, out of all the interviews that we do, we take requests from our fans, and GuildWars 2 is the most requested video interview that we've had.
Excellent.
Yeah. So, and I was in Germany a couple of weeks ago, and
so was I.
The fans were nuts.
Yeah, it was an awesome show.
Yeah, yeah. So, Isaiah, what is it that you do for GuildWars?
So, I'm a game designer, and I work on all the combat. I kind of lead up the big combat team. I work with a large number of people, and we work on all the skills, combat, and anything combat related.
So, you're development,
yep.
Then, and how long have you been working on this project?
I've been working on it from the very beginning, which has been a couple of years, so like 2 or 3 years.
What's it like for those who have never worked any kind of development or anything when you start out a brand new project? Is it total chaos? Nobody knows where to start?
I think the beginning of the game, or when the thing first comes, is probably the most exciting because you're really throwing out lots of ideas and putting.
So it's a big brainstorm
party.
Yeah,
it's a big brainstorm party. We're really trying to figure out what you're all about. Really trying to put everything out on the table. Nothing's off the chopping block, and I mean, you're just really throwing everything out there, trying to figure out what you're all about.
And so. What ideas, so were you there for that, you were there for that brainstorm?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you have any of your input or your ideas that is coming to life in the game?
I'm sure, lots of ideas. I mean, one of the big things about being a game designer is you kind of don't get too attached to which ideas are yours and which ones are not yours.
I feel the same way.
Yeah, you really...
But then other people who do get attached, they get upset when they don't get the proper credit.
I mean, I think that's the big thing about them is, you know, we always kind of try to say your ideas aren't special, kind of, because we come up with so many ideas all the time. Because and it's okay. Come up with ideas. The ones that are good, we're going to use the good ones. The ones that are you know, we don't like, we're not going to use those, and that's all right. That's one of the things that's about being a game designer, is coming up with both good ideas and bad ideas. And what makes you good at being a game designer is sorting the difference between the good ones and the bad ones.
Absolutely.
And not getting upset about you know, sometimes your ideas aren't going to make the cut, and sometimes your ideas are. And you know, I'd really lose track about which ones are mine and which ones aren't all the time.
So as a developer, do you spend time playing the game as well?
Yeah, I play the game for hundreds and hundreds of hours.
Sweet. So you actually get paid to play?
Yeah, a lot of the time. I mean, I think it's important for me to be one of the experts on the game. I mean, not only am I in charge of the combat in a lot of ways, but I also do a lot of the balance of the game. And I don't think you can balance any game ever that you don't play a lot.
Yeah, it's true. Because you have to be trying all those things and see all of that. So tell me about the combat in GuildWars 2.
So the combat in GuildWars 2 is very action-oriented. There's a lot of positional plays. You can double tap in any direction and roll out of the way. Monsters can attack you. You can dodge projectiles. You can dodge melee attacks. There's a lot of movement and interesting tactical choices based on it. You can swap your weapons out and change up your skills on the fly. There's a lot of interesting choices that you can make in combat. A lot of combos that you can create on your own. You can stun someone with a mace and then switch up to a really devastating axe attack so that they couldn't get out of the way.
Really? So you can start with one move and finish them off with another weapon?
Totally. It's a very...
that sounds very assassin-ish.
Yeah, it's a very fun
I'm going to poison you with the dart, and then I'm going to come in and stab you or whatever, you know?
Yeah, it kind of allows the players to kind of come up with their own combos and interesting things that they can do with the combat. And the weapons that you're holding really determine the skills that you have. A warrior with a bow can shoot fire arrows all over the place. A warrior with an axe does a lot of area of effect damage and can whirl around the battlefield. A ranger with a sword does a lot of back and forth rolling attacks and poison attacks and leaps at the enemy. It's very different the way that you have just by the way he's holding his weapon.
So what have we got going on here?
So this here is a necromancer, and he's moving around the branded, which is one of our char maps. The necromancer can summon undead minions from the ground and run around. One of the big things that's different about Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2, you don't need corpses to summon undead minions. You can just summon them from anywhere.
Okay.
And then the minion skills will swap to another skill, allowing you to use the minions as bombs or heal them, or turn your minion into a turret that can pin people where they're at. And you can do all sorts of different interactions with your minions and really make the necromancer use his minions. You can also slot non-minion skills, and the necromancer can steal life from his enemies and be a totally different type of necromancer depending on the skills and weapons that you choose.
So what is, tell me about an oh shit moment.
Right before Gamescom, it was only a couple weeks that we really finally got satisfied with it. But it came together really fast and really quick, and then we're really happy with the way it looked. But there was a while there we were like, man, are we gonna show this? We're not happy with it, and that was definitely one of those like, it's kind of a bummer that we weren't, if we don't do this just right, are we gonna get to show everyone? But the whole team came together. We really pulled it together. We really showed it, and it ended up with a really awesome necromancer that we're really proud of, and everyone gets to see.
So, is there a release date yet?
We're not. We don't really have. We're not talking about that, and we're really dedicated to finishing this game when it's done. And so we're going to work on it and really give it the attention that it deserves.
Well, I appreciate that as a player. Nothing worse than bugs at launch. There was one game that I played. I'll leave it unmentioned, but we got halfway through and you couldn't get past this one particular NPC. And what happened was, the way their data was, you had to wipe the character, your character, in order to patch to get back past that. Yeah, and I was like, oh my god, that is the worst bug ever.
Yeah, we really want to focus on a very clean game. We want to be happy with everything that we do, and we're gonna make sure that Guild Wars is the best game that we can make it.
What's going to happen to the original Guild Wars when this comes out?
Well, we have a Guild Wars Live team that works on it now, and they constantly come up with new updates. They tell stories. They do all sorts of things.
So you're going to have two veins of development?
We already do right now. It's a small team. They work on the game. They come up with stuff. They do all the balance updates. They do all the story updates. They do everything on their own right now. So.
Well, I appreciate your time.
Yeah, anytime.
Yeah, for squeezing us in here. It's really busy. There's a lot of people here.
Yeah, it's a great show.
I look forward to the game.
I look forward to you playing it.
Yeah. Take care, everybody.
Yeah, take care.